Good Wednesday morning. Boy, more of the same. Still looking gloomy, maybe not quite as gloomy, and not as much snow in the landscape as we had at this point on Tuesday. Here's a look outside just a little after 7:30 on this Wednesday morning. Here's our Gwaltney Group camera from downtown Rochester and South Broadway. Right now, a gloomy day, but overall fairly peaceful. We've been tracking some activity on radar and see some of that depicted around Mason City, Northwood, Osage, but so far very little of that reaching the ground, just a trace amount of snow shower activity, some flurries there. Dry here in Rochester, though we have had some fog develop in the last couple of hours. We may have a little fog at first, but not the same situation we've had recently with the freezing drizzle and the flurries, snow showers. We had a little coating of snow in parts of Rochester on Tuesday. Today, a drier, quieter day. Temperatures right now in the teens. We're on our way to the mid-20s. Overall, really not a bad day. Just, I'd say, nondescript day. Just gray, gloomy, but you know, you can't complain about a day like this when we're above zero and the wind is almost completely calm. So a peaceful day. Anytime you have light winds like this in the middle of winter, it's a blessing for all of us. We don't have to worry about that harsh wind chill impact. And think back about a year ago right now, we had wind chills in the 40s and 50s below zero. That polar vortex was the last couple of days of January. I believe the 29th and 30th of last year in January. So this is completely different, a whole lot better. Just a little gloomy. We've had to deal with that, and we'll continue to deal with that for next 2 or 3 days. Look outside from our studio. Yeah, more of the gloom here. 16 degrees in Rochester, Austin's 19, 20 in Cresco, Winona 21, and almost no wind. Winds northeast 6 miles per hour here in Rochester. At the studio, I can tell you there's pretty much no wind here on Signal Hill. Wind chill 7 officially. Air pressure is steady. Visibility has dropped off a little bit in the last hour or so. Down to a little more than a mile in Rochester, but Mason City, Charles City have some pretty thick fog, but not many other spots around those. Be on the lookout for some fog, a couple of very light flurries, low clouds for a time in the next couple of hours. Then things should improve after about 9 or 10 o'clock. And then a dry rest of the hour Wednesday. Wind chills pretty much matching the air temperature at this point. And look at the day planner. Gray skies throughout the day. Teens and then low and then eventually mid-20s, but almost no wind. Winds 4-5 miles per hour. That is it. Sunset 5:16. There are those very light snow showers and flurries south in the area. Those will move out between now and about 9 o'clock this morning. The storm system slides pretty quickly to the south into the heart of Iowa. The high pressure comes in to replace it. It will be still a gray day even with that high pressure, but at least almost no wind associated with that high pressure. So yeah, they're keeping things generally pretty quiet. Gray skies today. A little late week snow. That's going to be tomorrow evening into Friday. Another minor coating. Looks like less than an inch for the most part. And then warm up for the weekend. Does look like, especially Sunday, looking like the golden day. We're talking sunshine and the warmest weather of the next week or more. Temperatures across the board, kind of a variety. 16 in Rochester. International Falls 15, 31 though in Chicago, and 28 in Lincoln. Futurecast, a little disturbance moves out. High pressure from the Great Lakes pushes southward. Keeping the clouds underneath that layer, though, it's going to be a lot of low-level cloud cover, but at least light winds and dry weather. Here's a Futurecast through tomorrow. Dry during the day. A little band of snow comes in tomorrow evening, maybe a little coating at first, and then by Friday morning we'll tack on maybe another ½ inch or so, and then we'll end up with maybe ½ inch to 3/4 of an inch of snowfall overall, and that's about it between tomorrow night and Friday. The snow comes to an end early Friday evening or late afternoon, and then Friday night and the weekend looking pretty dry and blissfully peaceful. For today, though, gray skies, 24 in Rochester, Austin 25. 27 La Crosse and 22 in Mason City. Gray and light and variable winds, almost no wind really to speak of. A couple of flurries or very light snow showers south and west in the area until mid-morning. Tonight, 15 light south winds, gray skies, and tomorrow light breeze still. Dry during the day. In the evening, a little snow develops, just a thin coating at most, a trace amount through midnight. A little more overnight tomorrow night into Friday, especially early in the day. In the morning hours, we'll see that accumulation, ½ inch to maybe 3/4 of an inch. The weekend looks dry with some sunshine. Saturday afternoon will slowly break out of the clouds. Look for low 30s there, but mid, maybe even upper 30s on Sunday ahead of a cold front. And then breezy on Monday. Temperatures actually falling from the 30s in the morning to the 20s in the afternoon. Some rain, snow showers becoming very light. Snow at this point, not much accumulation expected out of that. Then cold weather for the middle of next week. Maybe a little sun, but temperatures next week, the middle of the week, dropping back to the 20s. Still, not a lot of really cold weather to talk about, and certainly no Arctic air right now. In the meantime, enjoy the quiet, generally peaceful weather, and keep your fingers crossed for that weekend sun. It still looks like a very strong possibility, so we'll look forward to that. And in the meantime, have a great Wednesday. We'll see you right back here tomorrow.